Thank you very much. It's a great pleasure to be here at the beginning of a new enterprise in Genizah studies. I have a little bit of a personal story here. The director of the first digital Genizah project at Princeton, the Princeton Genizah project, which goes all the way back to 1986, believe it or not, and continues to this day. I'm very proud also how many of my students who have worked on Genizah are here today. Those who teach at Haifa, participating in the conference, Casa Palalia, and Muriel Simonson, my student Odette Zinger, who's at the Institute for Advanced Studies in Jerusalem this year. My student Jessica Goldberg from UCLA, and my student Marina Rostow, and who is my successor in the Zilka chair at Princeton and director of the Genizah project. I'm going to read you first from the abstract that you have before you, and then make a transition to what I wanted to say. In the University of Genizah research, the manuscripts were exploited for the history of Jewish law. One thinks of such scholars as Louis Ginsberg, Harkavi, Jacob Mann, who combed the Genizah for fragments of responsa and halakhic works of the Gohen. More recently, one can point to Moran Hayek, Peter Friedman, Evelyn Gibson, Robert Brody, Steve Stamford. Others have scoured the Genizah for evidence of the biography and writings of famous figures like Sadiqa, Moses Maimonides, and the latter's son Abraham. In my own recent research, which points the way to possible future projects, I have employed what I think is a novel methodology. Rather than seeking fragments of Jewish law in Genizah, rather applying evidence of the Genizah in respect to merchant practice to commercial law in Maimonides' Mishneh Torah. And in my presentation, I'm going to exemplify this for you, this new approach, showing how Maimonides himself, head of a merchant family, incorporated and accommodated merchant custom in the code. The book upon which this is based is not coming out, it's not being finished, but it's actually finished and will be published by the University of Pennsylvania Press next month. The press prepared an order plan. It's not an inexpensive book, so they were happy to make a 20% discount for anyone who is interested in applying it, and most of you have the order blank in front of you. Just a short description of the book. Now to the paper at hand. As you know, in the Talmud period, most Jews were farmers of small crafts. The merchants who hear about the Talmud operated primarily in local or regional markets, connected with local or regional trade, called usually Hagarei Lud, Hagarei Yerushalayim, etc. Commerce requiring travel over a great distance was rare. In the Islamic world, by contrast, there were terms which distinguished between local and regional trade on the one hand and long distance commerce, for each of which there was a term, Tijara Hadira and Tijara Raya, respectively. Unlike Islamic law, which passed through its formative stages during what we may call the Islamic commercial revolution and accommodated its needs, Talmudic law, which was finalized before the advent of Islam, was poorly equipped to serve the requirements of the merchants in the new urbanized, long-distance trading economy. Like the Go'onim before him, Maimonides was keenly aware of this transformation in Jewish economic life and of the shortcomings of Talmudic commercial law for serving the interests of Jewish long-distance traders. According to the credible testimony of his younger Muslim contemporary, Ibn al-Kifti, when Maimonides arrived in Egypt with his family around 1165, he, quote, made a living by trading in precious jewels and such like, unquote. Maimonides' brother David applied the trade route between Egypt and India, carrying investments, including cash belonging to his brother, which was lost when Abraham was shipwrecked and drowned on one of those voyages. Though it has hitherto gone largely unnoticed, in the Mishneh Torah, Maimonides often expands upon Tanaitic or Amoraic rulings, adapting them to the practices of the merchants, whose activities are richly documented in the Cohen Genizah. Examples of this updating come from disparate corners of the halakha. These alterations, dispersed throughout the code, constitute strong evidence that Maimonides had his eye on the realities of the post-Talmudic Islamic trade and the custom of the merchants when he compiled his code. While precedents for some of these modifications can be found in Gaonic or Andalusian writings, taken as a whole, they illustrate Maimonides' efforts to narrow the gap between law and society in this important domain of human activity. I'm going to basically now give you one example from among dozens in the book, and it's accompanied by a handout. I give you the Hebrew texts, and I'll be translating in the course of what I have to say. This has to do with commerce and work on the intermediate days of the festival, Cohen. A representative example of how Maimonides builds on Gaonic and Andalusian precedents in an economic matter is to be held by considering the question of work on the intermediate days of the festival, Passover and Sukkot. This issue occupied the attention of the rabbis of the Talmudic period. The Mishnah in the Moed Katan restricts labor on those days to certain types of religious or subsistence economic activity. It says it is not permissible to buy houses, slaves, or cattle, except for what is needed for the festival, or where the seller has nothing to eat. So by selling to him, you give him some money. And then you can sell to you. Characteristically, as this and other statements show, this discussion in the Talmud assumes agricultural work. Further exemplifying subsistence economic activity, the Talmud permits a lender to write a contract of debt if a needy person who lacks food asks for a loan, and it allows copying the scriptural text for tefillin and other ritual objects and selling them, if need be, for one's own livelihood, again in Moed Katan 1898. The early post-Talmudic compilation comparing Palestinian and Babylonian customs, Chilufa Minhagim B'nei Babel B'nei Eretz Yisrael, reports that Palestinian Jews did not work on the intermediate days of the festival, whereas those in Babylonia did. Now the Gaonic background. In an increasingly urban setting of early Islamic Iraq, as the Gaonim report, most Jews no longer own land. It's a famous Shuvah. Archaeology confirms that this was a period of overpopulation in the agricultural lands surrounding the capital Baghdad and of accompanying land flight to the cities. Rabbi Natronai ben Eli, Gaon of Surah 857 to 865, or 866, presumably reflecting the Babylonian custom just mentioned, extended the permission to work on the intermediate days of the festival to include poor craftsmen who had no choice but to work on those days, even if they had to work in a public place in order to be spotted by potential consumers. The question posed to him concerned tailors and sandal makers. Natronai also permitted people to engage in trade, Sakora, on the intermediate days of the festival if transacted in the privacy of their houses, since business entails only talking. He permitted doing business openly if necessary to avoid lost business opportunity, pragmatia obedi. Natronai cites a precedent in the same tractate of the Talmud, or Katantempi, that allows work on the intermediate days to prevent dates, produce, from going bad, which is deemed analogous to making a business deal that, if postponed, would entail economic loss. Elsewhere, Natronai takes cognizance of the expansion of long-distance trade in the Islamic world. He considers a situation where a caravan departs only twice a year, and one of them is scheduled to leave on the intermediate days of the festival. This is the second source on your handout sheet. The Cohen expands the Talmudic dispensation about copying religious texts and adds that one may write and send a letter with the caravan to accompany merchandise or to convey instructions to a business associate located in a distant city, again, in order to avoid financial loss or to protect the well-being of his family. This allowance has all the earmarks of a concession to Jewish merchants. As the Genizah letters abundantly showed, long-distance traders relied heavily on letters reporting the activities of business associates, the progress of consignments of merchandise, and market fluctuations, and they regularly sent written instructions to partners or agents instructing them about buying and selling and other matters vital to maximizing profits. One of the constant refrains in letters of Genizah merchants is the complaint that letters have not arrived, causing anxiety. This is true, by the way, of Muslim business letters as well. Now, the Andalusian background. Merchant labor on the intermediate days of the festival occupies center stage in the fascinating question submitted to the Spanish legist, Rabbi Joseph Ibn Migash in 1141, the head of the yeshiva of Lucena in Spain and the teacher of Maimonides' father. The questioner writes that he had, quote, warned some people not to buy and sell on the intermediate days of the festival. The violators complied by adhering to an even stricter standard as prescribed by Ibn Migash in his teaching, by refraining from opening their shops or working even to avoid lost business opportunity or to meet the basic need for food. Later, the questioner writes, some people arrived from Cordova and tore down this fence by permitting buying and selling openly in the market. This is the questioner. I continue. When I expressed my astonishment, they deferred this matter to Your Excellency, meaning Ibn Migash. As a result, God's name is being profaned in the presence of the Gentiles because Jews are doing business in the marketplace in Cohen way. Ibn Migash praises the questioner for encouraging his own townsmen to go beyond the call of religious duty by suspending their economic activities in the intermediate days of the festival. At the same time, he rules that the outsiders from Cordova should be permitted to trade if it means avoiding lost business opportunity or hunger. He also categorically recognized that he had taught that trade in those days was permissible, even in the absence of the extenuating circumstances spelled out in the Talmud. Now, what is Maimonides' position on work on the intermediate days? Like Natronai Cohen and like Ibn Migash, Maimonides addresses the issue of doing business on the intermediate days of the festival in his own response. This is excerpt number 4. He praises a rabbinic authority in Palestine for proclaiming a chayrim against anyone working on the intermediate days of the festival In Palestine, you recall, it was customary to avoid work on all days of the festival, including the intermediate ones. But in the next grant, it qualifies, following the death of the night, quote, if it is a case of a business deal, to avoid lost business opportunity, people should engage in business transactions. Maimonides, this now I'm coming up on excerpt number 5. Maimonides codified this opinion in the Mishneh Torah, the Hilchot Shvitat Yom Tov 7:22. A halakha informed by his own merchant perspective on daily life, untranslated. One should not engage in trade, again the word sechora, on the intermediate days of the festival, whether buying or selling or buying. But if it is something that it postponed would entail lost business opportunity, the Mara obeyed regarding something that is not always available after the festival. For instance, this is important, when ships or caravans have just arrived or are about to depart, and people are selling cheap or buying dear, in such cases, a person is permitted to buy or sell on the intermediate days. One may not, however, pack houses or slaves or cattle, except if needed for the festival. Now, Maimonides' intimate knowledge of the realities of long-distance trade stands out boldly in his comments about ships and caravans and how their arrival or departure could affect market prices, an elaboration that goes beyond Natranai Gaon's dispensation for writing letters to business associates. But Maimonides does not, like Natranai, restrict business to discussions in the privacy of one's home. Rather, he resorts to a ruling in the rival Palestinian Talmud, Moed Katan 2:3, that allows doing actual business with a caravan that is arriving and then departing on the intermediate days of the festival to avoid lost business opportunity. Notably, too, Maimonides extends Natranai's ruling about caravans to include ships. This is not surprising. Maimonides lived in Fustat, a city intimately linked to commerce in the Mediterranean through the port of Alexandria, and with India through the port of Aden. The very route his brother, the merchant David, followed, and where he died. Maimonides knew as well as anyone, that the arrival and departure of ships was one of the determining factors in marketplace activity, and conceded that merchants needed to be on the spot to take advantage of their movements into and out of the harbor if they were not to forfeit business opportunity. 2 halachot later, Hilchot Shvitat Yom Tov 7:24, Maimonides sanctions work on the intermediate days of the festival in a different context. Whatever is forbidden to do on the intermediate days of the festival, this is number 6, whatever is forbidden to do on the intermediate days of the festival, one may not instruct a Gentile Goy to do. If he has nothing to eat, he may do whatever is forbidden to do on the intermediate days of the festival to provide enough for his livelihood. V'chein, likewise, he may engage in commerce of sex to provide enough for his own livelihood. It is permissible for a wealthy man to hire a poor man who has nothing to eat to do work, and that is otherwise forbidden on those days, so he may earn wages with which to provide for his livelihood. Likewise, one may buy things that are not needed for the intermediate days of the festival if the seller is in need and has no food to eat. The supposed Talmudic source for the first statement is Moed Katan 12:8. Quote, whatever he may do, he may instruct the Gentile to do, and whatever he may not do, he may not instruct the Gentile. Unquote. The concern with the alleviation of poverty, also present in the Talmudic discourse, had particular immediacy in Maimonides' Egypt. As I discussed in my book on poverty and charity, the Genizah attests to the presence of a large population of poor in the Jewish community of Fustat. Local poor as well as transient, indigents or needy people seeking to settle down in that charitable community. Each week, hundreds of hungry people, locals and foreigners, receive doles of bread and sometimes wheat as well. The poor receive subsidies to help defray the poll tax levied on every healthy non-Muslim adult male. Genizah letters reveal that Maimonides was personally involved in charity in the community, particularly on behalf of redemption of captives, who were usually foreigners, the most costly item in the community's charity budget. The statement in 724 about protecting the hireling or the store owner from dearth addresses the plight of the working poor in the Maimonides Egypt, who earned meager, subsistent wages and could not afford to sacrifice income for an entire week, twice each year, Kol HaMoed, plus the festival days which precede and follow. Both week-long Jewish festivals fell within the Mediterranean sailing season, which ran from April through October, the week of Passover in the early spring, and the week of Sukkot at the dawn of the fall-winter season. Noteworthy, too, is the clear allusion to Maimonides' own famous ladder of charity near the end of Laws of Gifts for the Poor, 10:7, which puts employment for the poor person entering into partnership with him, giving him a loan, as the most commendable method of charity giving. Note was significant in terms of Jewish commercial life is the phrase sanctioned commerce. Likewise, he may engage in commerce to provide for his livelihood. By using the word v'chein, likewise, Maimonides separates the clause from the sentences before it and after it and address the needs of the poor. Seemingly, according to Maimonides, the permission to engage in trade exceeds the culture of rationale, the concern that people get starved. Writing 3.5 centuries later, Rabbi Joseph Karo seems to have understood Maimonides. I skipped some pages of scripture. No, I didn't. Writing 3.5 centuries later, Rabbi Joseph Karo seems to have understood what Maimonides was saying. In his Beit Yosef, and also he writes, 594, quote, "It seems from what Maimonides is saying that it is only permissible when he has nothing to eat, but it is possible that he also permits a merchant to work when he has limited assets and wishes to profit by selling, so he will have a surplus of money, for this too is tantamount to enough for his livelihood." So in the case quoted, not just enough for his livelihood, but a surplus of money. Owed the Rebbe. Karo understood, as did Maimonides, that earning livelihood through trade required always keeping ahead of it, never letting one's cash reserves run low, never allowing one's liquid aspects to lie fallow. We seem, therefore, to be witness to another instance in which Maimonides, well versed in the ways of commerce and business in general, just as to conform to the entrepreneurial spirit of post-modern Islamic economy. And
correct to say that the basic principle that Maimonides states here, Davah Aved, is the Talmud principle, and that the additions, change in emphasis is for particulars due to circumstances rather than a change in law. Are we witnessing here a change in law influenced by the circumstances of the merchants, or is it applying some circumstances of emergency to a communal principle about it. If I may add,
The answer to your question is that I believe all right, I'll speak up. The answer to your question is that I believe, and you may not, that it is changes in economic circumstances that led to Maimonides tinkering with
I'm not talking about my beliefs here.
well, I mean, you may not agree.
It's not a question of faith or belief, as far as I'm concerned. So, but I did have another question. You quoted Caro saying that perhaps Maimonides permitted this in such and such a case. And then I understood as you're saying, well, from this we learn that Maimonides permitted in such and such a case. It seemed, if I understood what you're saying, it would seem that your proof of what Maimonides said in this case is that Rabbi Yosef Karo said that maybe that's what he meant.
No, well, I think that Rabbi Yosef Karo was reading the Rambam through the eyes of a man who lived in a merchant community and understood Middle Eastern merchant habits, which were long-standing, and took Maimonides' nuance, I believe, quite correct.
I was wondering if you could reflect on the Mishnah Torah as opposed to the responsive literature, where Maimonides' audience was presumably different, not just for his local context in Egypt, but for the wider community.
Yes, well, I used his responsive, as well as responsive going extensively in the book in order to establish a context. And what the responsive, Maimonides' responses show us is that he was fully aware of the custom of the merchants. These issues came to his desk continuously, constantly, and some of the very specific types of mercantile customs that the Cohen already understood and made adjustments for, Maimonides did as well. So for him, apart from the fact that he knew these things because he was a merchant himself, and his brother was a merchant, he was constantly being asked to adjudicate situations, which included Jews who went to Muslim courts, and therefore were following courts of customs of Muslim churches.
So we'll have to continue this a bit later. I would like to thank Professor Cohen again.